Well, bulls in the oil market have had a tough few days with what the choppiness and the volatility that Brent and WTI have displayed owing to the kind of events that have transpired. Starting off, of course, with the blockage of the Suez Canal by the vessel Ever Given, which gave a bit of a respite, saw oil prices climbing. But over the weekend, of course, the blockage was successfully unclogged as the vessel was refloated, which caused oil prices, Brent and WTI both, to fall by roughly about 2%. There was a bit of recovery as well, but it's interesting to know the kind of volatility we are seeing in oil markets. Currently, Brent is just at about $60 per barrel. Now, guess what? This is not the only event. There's one more upcoming, and that's, I think, a more important one with respect to the OPEC meeting. By the end of this week, on roughly Thursday, the coalition will decide on what will be the production quotas for the month of May. Just to jog our viewers' memories, remember that Saudi Arabia, the coalition, was widely criticized roughly about 3 weeks ago when it rebuffed calls to revive production and to bring back the crude production which was halted during the pandemic. The energy minister Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman made it clear that he was going to put his faith in the predictions of a post-COVID rebound, saying he would only believe in the demand recovery when he sees it. And thus, they continued and extended that voluntary 1 million barrels per day additional output cut for the month of April as well. So that sort of stabilized crude prices. And now it looks like his stance has largely been vindicated, because we are seeing a resurgence in COVID cases in big oil-consuming countries like India, for instance. So, while there may be talks of recovery and the fact that many oil-consuming countries have been complaining about a shortage of crude, the fact is that there is a resurgence in COVID cases as well. So this time around, to decide on the May production limits, there is a possibility that the coalition may take a bit more of a cautious approach, just like Saudi did, and wait a little longer before deciding to open the oil taps once again. However, we do have the Joint Technical Committee meeting where they have said that the OPEC data shows a 2.9 million barrel per day stock drop in May if the production cuts are rolled over, and they also see the stock surplus down to 3 million barrels by the end of the second quarter. So all of these are projections, made by OPEC to the Joint Technical Committee. They also see that the oil stockpile surplus will largely be gone by the end of the second quarter of this calendar year. That's by the end of June 2020. So remember, like I said, that the meeting will be held over the course of this week, and we will hear of something by Thursday. But until then, there's a possibility that the oil markets will continue to remain a bit choppy.